Hi guys, I'm Julia. Tonight we're going to talk about medical marijuana, including child patients, and some lesser known facts. My previous speech, we gave you guys some information and well, the pros and cons on it, so now we're going to go over this one. What if I told you that there were a number of parents that were giving their children marijuana? None of these parents would say that this was their first choice, but for all of them it was their last choice. And some new medical facts. THC and CBDs, also known as cannabinoids, are the primary cannabinoids in marijuana, and both of them kill cancer. A recent study done out of Spain shows that they applied marijuana to brain that had cancer in it, and the brain cancer cells were killed and the healthy cells were left. It says that CBDs do the same thing. A pair of scientists from California Pacific Medical Center in San Francisco demonstrated that cannabinoids' ability to stop metastasis in many kinds of aggressive cancer. Another medical fact, it used to be believed that marijuana would kill brain cells. It has been proven since that it actually triggers the growth of new cells. In a 2005 study, done cannabinoids' ability to promote neurogenesis in the adult hippocampus, the brain region responsible for many important brain functions, including mood and memory. It also supports research that marijuana helps improve cognitive function in bipolar disorder patients. Now that we have gone over some new medical facts, we'll go over the facts including children. Right now in Colorado, there are currently 60 children on the medical marijuana industry. What made me even think about children being in this is there was a special on CNN that I just happened to catch with the Surgeon General Sanjay Gupta, recanting all of his previous statements about medical marijuana as a medicine, saying that he misspoke and that he was wrong, and not only does he support it as a medicine, but he supports it as a medicine for children. These are 3 highly publicized children that you would see in the media if you looked up any of the child marijuana cases. Cash Hyde, he had a brain tumor. Zakai Jackson and Charlotte Fiji both had Dravet syndrome, which is a really severe form of epilepsy. Cash, his parents said between chemo and prescription drugs, their son was unable to eat for 40 days. His internal organs were being damaged, and the medicine that they had him on were causing hallucinations and for his brain to stop. They said that once they tried the medical marijuana after the first time, they noticed a difference immediately. And after a few months, he was back to being a normal 2-year-old, and he beat his brain tumor. Now, Zakai Jackson, he had the Dravet syndrome. He was diagnosed at 6 months old. He tried, him and his mom tried for 10 years, 17 different medications, until one day his doctor is the one who wrote the prescription for his mom. She says that he was up to 250 seizures a day. So once they gave him they started him on a liquid form of the medical marijuana, that he hadn't had a seizure in 8 months. So he's still going seizure free. He's able to have his quality of life back. He's able to do regular things like regular children can do. Charlotte, she was 3 months old when she had her first seizure. They took her to the doctor. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. They said she'll probably grow out of it. A couple months later, they were coming on more frequently, and they lasted 2 to 4 hours. She was on 7 medications, including barbiturates and the benzodiazepines. At age 2, she began to decline cognitively from the use of all of these drugs. They considered drugs from France and even anti-seizure medicines that were being used on animals as a treatment. They went to a Dravet specialist in Chicago. They've changed her diet to try to see if that helps, because in some children you can change their diets. It helped her for 2 years, but then the seizures came back more aggressive, and to the point where she was declining. She could no longer walk, talk, or feed herself. She was up to 300 grand mal seizures a week, and they started her on this medication, and after her first dose they didn't notice any seizures. She went from 300 a week to about 2 to 3 a month, only happening in her sleep, and she's back to walking, talking, playing, riding her bike, doing things like a normal 6-year-old would do. Now that we've talked about the facts about children, we're all going to go over facts that you think people would be happy about, but I'm pretty sure none of you ever heard. Medical marijuana has reduced the suicide rates. A Denver state level study analyzed the statistical trend of suicide after introduction of medical marijuana. The doctor says our results suggest that the passage of the medical marijuana law is associated with almost 5% reduction in total suicide rate. That's an 11% reduction in 20 to 29 for males and a 9% reduction for males 30 to 39. And the next one, there is zero evidence that smoking marijuana causes significant lung damage. This was a huge issue. They were saying that there's tars in marijuana that are more than, or what is in a cigarette. And that it was really harmful, but the UCLA medical doctor, Donald Haskin, he and another guy did research, and he's been doing it for more than 30 years, but he said that they found no association at all, and even some suggestion of a protective effect from smoking marijuana. The study actually strengthens the notion that marijuana is anti-cancer. The plant itself seems to have an offsetting effect for the harmful properties of smoke. So today you've learned some interesting facts about medical marijuana. I shared that it kills brain cancer, has the ability to successfully treat epilepsy, lowers suicide rates, and triggers brain growth. The more I learn about this information, I just want to pass it along in hopes that it can help somebody else out. Thank you, guys.